conversation about the other topic that we were talking about when it comes to Ask the Girls. What is the story with Steve? What's going on with Steve?
Steve of Wakaniaro. Yes, university lecturer decides to get on a podcast, the Ogobina platform, and talk about a few things.
Yeah.
Now, normally we love this guy, especially when he gets on live on TikTok and he does all of these stories. It's kind of interesting, to be honest, because he's just very fun. He's very outgoing. There's a lot of trauma involved in the way he speaks and the way he does things. But all in all, he has become a very favorite character because of just the way he gets people to open up about their absurd situations. So that's how we love him. We know him, we love him. Wakaniero University advising people until he got on a podcast. And this is why I say, when something is working out good for you, don't get greedy. Okay, when things are moving smoothly, things are working out, please don't get greedy very quickly, because here he is thriving, his business is thriving, his platforms are thriving, and then he gets on another podcast just for him to get, or on another platform, just for him to get cancelled. Because first of all, he said he don't like children. I can't understand when you say I don't like children. Children are not for me. And we finish it at that. But he went a step further and said, I hate children. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you breathe. I hate the existence. Why are you crying? Shut up. And I'm just like, okay, that was a bit intense. Okay, maybe there's a story over there that we don't know about. I hope you heal. And then after that, he goes on to brag and say 80% of population of women in Nairobi have actually passed through his hands, okay? He has touched 80% of the women. Now, we do understand that you do run a massage business, holistic massaging and whatnot, and relaxation. That is your business, and it is thriving, and it works very well. And we kind of get it. But for you to get on here and say, to sexualizing the whole thing by problem. Saying, I have touched 80% of Nairobi's female population, that immediately becomes cringe, because, ew, what do you mean? Now I don't want to get a massage from you because
I don't want to be part of the
pray
touch.
Tell you sexualize this. Pray tell I get your services for me to relax. And then he sexualized the whole ordeal. So it's quite unfortunate for him that he expanded his horizons and got cancelled. We also saw Shits and Gigs earlier this week get cancelled because of bringing on a very controversial guest onto their platform.
No. They went to the USA
on tour.
Onto his platform. And then they were being interviewed on his show.
Exactly.
And then they did some shady stuff.
Exactly. So please, do not get greedy. And I know the journey of a content creator is difficult, but please be conscious. Just know, when you're getting on another person's platform, they also want to get views. Okay, they're going to twist it in whatever way. I'm not saying that Ogobina kind of twisted it. He actually got a bit pissed when he started talking about children. But all I'm saying is, relax. Okay, don't get carried away. And it's something about microphones and cameras. They just go on and you get carried away. I can't explain it. It has happened to me before. So all I'm saying is, relax, breathe in.
Do like this.
Touch your chest.
Because way. How dare you say you have touched 80% of Kenyan women? That just sounded so,
so weird.
First of all, it's a very uncomfortable relationship between a male masseur and a female masseur, especially when you're doing house calls. Okay, it can get so weird so fast if things are handled differently, right? But the way he said it made it feel so dirty. Like something that I was doing for myself, a me thing, you've now made it so dirty that I can't afford to do it again. Now, the 80% who have passed through his hands, will probably not go back, will they? Because they don't want, and the ones who will come back are coming back for, for a little bit of touch. So then it makes your professionalism difficult to manage, because honestly, if you say that you kazi yako ni touch women, as in, what are you trying to say? You're basically calling yourself a male gigolo at this point. Isn't that what you're insinuating? Anyway, I think he's a
Also
very
added anapenda wa mama, apende
anapenda.
wasichana.
Thank you.
You know,
Anapenda our mama, as in you like servicing mamas. Do you know
you
it
sexualized the
just
whole
sounded
thing.
so wrong. The way you made it come off, it just came off as you are just a male gigolo and your work is to make sure that women are satisfied. And that's just like, ew, I don't want to be near. No, don't make this a prostitution. Don't make this prostitution. I don't want it. I really don't want it. So that was hella cringe. Maybe be mindful of what you're saying. But what I've realized with him is like he's very unfiltered, right? And unfortunately, when you're on social media and it's your platform, you can control it. You can edit out parts where you became a little cringe. You can chop stuff up where you just became, you're like, yeah, that was a bit excessive. You can mute, you can delete, you can private, put the video on private if you get backlash. But this is a platform where you have no control over, right? And now I see and I go back to, first of all, if you're being interviewed by anyone and you feel like your image is what is dependent, your business is dependent on your image. Let me just say it that way. If your image is dependent on your business, guess what? You need to protect your image at all costs. So how do you do that? When you're going for an interview and you feel like you may be overwhelmed and say crazy things, ask that they send you the questions they have beforehand. So you can coach yourself. If you have to look a little scripted every so often, it's fine. But if 90% of the stuff that you say is okay, I promise you it will be a pass. But now you say you hate children, and then you tell us you're touching us. It just came off as way too many weird things are happening and coming out of your mouth that I can't trust you. And if I cannot trust you, I cannot trust your services, and therefore I don't want anything to do with you. And honestly, in this particular case, I think the advice that I've seen people giving him that made sense to me is like, look, it's social media. People are cancelled right, left, and center all the time. What do? Calm down, take a beat, let people forget. When people forget, come back. We always forget. So there will be something trending next week and you will not even be part of that conversation. So guess what? If you let this blow over and not go online and start justifying it or doing weird and sus things, the backlash will just dissipate over time, you know? Look at what Pretty Vishy did. She came on the internet so heavy, and then she forgave him so quickly. We're like, now you got us geared up for what? But didn't you forget about that Pretty Vishy thing?
Really?
Wasn't it last week? Guys, we forgot
not
so
news.
fast. You're no longer news in a week, so just let it blow over. Don't try and justify it. Don't try and be weird about it. Just like let it go. You'll be fine. But next time, get yourself coached. Make sure you are getting proper like information beforehand, and always remember that this is not your platform. You have no control to manage what they end up chopping and putting out there on the internet. Okay.